We will now call the Common Council meeting of July 15th, 2025 to order. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Haas. Here. Lord.
Here.
Ritz.
Here.
Marshall. Here. Gale.
Here.
Guzekowski.
Here.
Everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Donald Donnie, would you please start us out? That'll get us to approval of minutes of June 17th, 2025. I'll give you all a moment to look at it. When you're satisfied there's no errors, omissions, corrections, or discussion, motion please.
Go ahead.
Marshall will move to approve the minutes of June 17th, 2025.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall. Aye. Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Haas. Aye.
And item 4 is under recognition, and we have a presentation, and we're blessed today to have County Supervisor Steve Taylor, and he is going to
Blessed.
recognize Oak Creek for its 70th anniversary. Steve's a busy guy. So Catherine, would you please read that in?
Certainly. Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors. Whereas the City of Oak Creek marks its 70th anniversary in 2025, a milestone reflecting its rich history, culture, and strong sense of community. And whereas the City of Oak Creek's history began as a sleepy farm town fighting annexation from the City of Milwaukee. And whereas the City of Oak Creek was originally part of the Town of Lake before splitting off to form the Town of Oak Creek in 1840, eventually leading to the passage of the Oak Creek Law, a binding referendum incorporating the town in 1955 with over 90% of Oak Creek voters favoring incorporation. And whereas the City of Oak Creek encompasses over 36,000 residents across 28.45 square miles and ranks among the fastest growing communities in Milwaukee County and the state of Wisconsin. And whereas the City of Oak Creek's 70th anniversary celebration honors its residents, businesses, city employees, and friends whose leadership and dedication have driven Oak Creek's growth and progress. And whereas the City of Oak Creek will celebrate this milestone on Saturday, August 9th, 2025 at Lake Vista Park with a vintage baseball tournament, community cookout, games, and activities designed to bring together friends, families, and neighbors, commemorating the city's enduring spirit and the people who have shaped its past, present, and future. Now therefore be it resolved, the members of the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors, on the motion of Supervisor Steve F. Taylor, together with Supervisors Justin Belinsky, Sky Z. Caprilio, Priscilla E. Coggs-Jones, Jack Ekbald, Caroline Gomez-Tom, Willie Johnson Jr., Patty Logston, Sequena Taylor, Kathleen Vincent, Sheldon A. Wasserman, and Chairwoman Marcelia Nicholson do hereby commend the City of Oak Creek for its community spirit, outstanding civic achievements, and steadfast contributions to Milwaukee County, and extend our best wishes for continued prosperity and success for the city's residents.
Thank you, Catherine. I'll invite Supervisor Taylor up.
Well, I appreciate the city clerk for reading that, because if I had to put my readers, it would have been difficult, you know. I truly enjoy representing the residents of Oak Creek. Some people like to say I'm never in Oak Creek, but this is my 5th time in the last week, so I have been in this community. You know, I serve across the street, Ken, you know, alderman at the same time, Dan, and I'm envious of what you guys have here. I was at the chamber breakfast earlier this year. I think it was earlier this year, or was it late last fall? And the city administrator, Vickers, talked about all the great things you guys are doing. And I got on the phone and I called Mayor Nelson. I said, you got your work cut out for you. I mean, and I truly mean that. Like, you guys, women, you understand this. You guys get up there and you make tough decisions and you don't look backwards. I want to give you a little bit of update too. I was talking to Alderman Marshall. Bender Park is important to this community. It's access to Lake Michigan. You guys are doing great things at Lake Vista. On Thursday, I'm going to do something I've never done before and request contingency dollars to be spent to get this project underway. It's been difficult. I put this in the budget back in 2024. There was delays, whether it's consultants or the DNR, and we're using 2024 dollars, and the money's not there. So I'm going to be asking for another $240,000 on Thursday, and then next week at the board to get this thing done, to open up and give access to Lake Michigan. Now, this isn't the final solution. This is obviously temporary. The replacing the breakwater is $7 to $8 million. I'm actually going to be asking for your help at some point because our Congressman Style, he should represent this area. This is a big part of his district. And in the past, when we've asked for his assistant, he hasn't done that. And whereas like Congresswoman Moore, Senator Baldwin, they've brought back earmarks to our community, but we have not gotten that from the congressman. So I hope he'll be a partner in moving that project forward. But it's funny, when I walk out in that hall, there's that glass case. I was here for the 60th. And I didn't expect to be here still, and I was actually gone for 4 years. But I look at that and I think of what's happened in the last decade. So you should all be proud. The residents of this community should be proud of the work you guys do.
Thank you, Steve. Council, any comments, words? Ken?
Shane, good to see you again, Steve.
You too.
Appreciate whatever work you can get done in Bender Park, because it is a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. And I think it's what I was talking to Alderwoman Marshall, we have a friends group that has just started, and it's the 60th in the park system. We have a trail that's being constructed right now. Next year, the road to get into Bender, it's budgeted. We're going to do that next year. And so you'll have a new trail. You'll have an open access to the lake. You'll have a new road going in there. You'll have a new friends group. I really would love to have the beer garden to go down there again like we did, a handful of years back. And next year it's not ready, but I'd like the following year. I've already talked to Parks. I said I would like to have the beer garden there again. Let's really activate that area. Milwaukee County only has so many assets within the city of Oak Creek, Bender being one of them. And I know we're trying to get some of this development done with access to the south to cross Bender, and that's still ongoing. But my commitment, running again was what do I need to do? I did a lot in Franklin because I lived there, but there was unfinished business here in Oak Creek. And so, I think you all have my cell. If you don't, Alderman has it, Ken, the mayor, Catherine, everybody has it. Please, reach out to me and I'll do everything I can to help. And I'd like to get a picture of all of us if we can.
Certainly. I would like to thank Supervisor Taylor. He covered a lot of Bender going on there, not just at the park, but that partnership to Lake Vista and south of there. As we look at fire stations that need to be replaced, key infrastructure has to go in, and you've been a great ally for us. And I appreciate everything you've done for us up to this point. So thank you.
Well, you guys have been great partners, so it's easy to have someone to pick up the phone and try to get things done, which that's what matters.
Wonderful. If we could, Council, can we get a picture with Supervisor and his recognition? Where do you want to do this? Up by the emblem? So no action is needed on that presentation. That will bring us to item 5, and this is a mayoral proclamation. It's appreciation to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW Local 494, on their partnership and community involvement with the City of Oak Creek. Catherine, would you read that in, please?
Certainly. Appreciation to IBEW Local 494 on their partnership and community involvement with the City of Oak Creek. Whereas the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW, Local 494 was founded in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1906 with a mission to advance the electrical industry by providing the most highly skilled and safety-conscious workforce through advanced training, education, and a commitment to the highest professional standards in the industry. And whereas IBEW Local 494 continues to help build and strengthen communities throughout Milwaukee, Waukesha, Washington, and Ozaukee counties, including the City of Oak Creek and surrounding municipalities. And whereas IBEW Local 494 has consistently prioritized community engagement and partnership to improve the quality of life in the communities where its members live, work, and play. And whereas IBEW Local 494 has generously contributed time, resources, and funding to numerous organizations and charitable causes within the City of Oak Creek, including support for civic and educational fundraising events. And whereas IBEW Local 494 has continued its strong partnership with the Oak Creek Farmers Market, donating $20,000 for the 2025 season and a total of $70,000 over the past 5 years. And whereas each week of the market, IBEW Local 494 provides a $30 match through Milwaukee Market Match and a $20 match for WIC and senior food vouchers, ensuring access to fresh food for residents on fixed incomes, while also supporting the farmers and agricultural communities of Southwest Wisconsin. And whereas through the collective generosity of its members, IBEW Local 494 has donated a total of $78,100 to the Oak Creek Farmers Market, Oak Creek Distinguished Young Women's Scholarship, Oak Creek Franklin Joint School District, and the Oak Creek Junior Nights programs. And whereas IBEW Local 494 has demonstrated outstanding civic and community dedication and involvement, setting the highest standard for partnership and public service throughout the region. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor Daniel J. Bukavich, Mayor of the City of Oak Creek, do hereby recognize and wish to extend gratitude to Local 494 and its members for their commitment and generosity to the City of Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and all its residents. Be it further resolved that the city clerk be and is hereby directed to transmit a suitable copy thereof to IBEW Local 494, dated this 15th day of July, 2025.
Thank you, Catherine. I'll now invite IBEW 494 up to the podium.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. My name is John Jacobs. I'm the proud business manager of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 494. We are an organization celebrating, as you heard, 120 years next year, made up of 2,900 members with 113 employers to work from, spanning across 6.5 counties. I'm joined by fellow business rep, Oak Creek resident, and member of the Oak Creek Planning Commission, Donald Donnie. On behalf of the members of Local 494, I'd like to thank Mayor Bukavich, the council, and the citizens of Oak Creek for this recognition. Our membership believes in giving back to the community they live, work, and play in. One method of giving back is financially, using their working dues, which are deducted weekly from their paycheck. And there's a two-step process to approve the members' money to be given to an entity of their choice. And that process is completed by membership voting at a union meeting. You heard plenty of examples tonight of some of the things that they've done financially. In addition to that, our members have volunteered at the river cleanup, and they've also participated at the Oak Creek High School Career Fair. None of this occurs without the members' working dues, which means they are working. And with that, this great city of Oak Creek has provided a lot of work for our members, making a lot of mortgage payments. The most recent project that I can think of is the Oak Creek Powerhouse. So, in addition to that, we take great pride in the training that we provide. Some examples are your former electrical inspector was trained by Local 494. Your current electrician, Steve, was trained by Local 494. Your deputy clerk's son just recently started his career with Local 494. And of course, I can't forget Mayor Bekavich also received his training from Local 494. So here's our plug. If you know someone who's got experience, send them our way. In all seriousness, we thank you for this honor. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Council, any words?
Thank you. Thanks. And we'd love to have a picture as well.
Definitely. I'm going to say a couple words. Again, we need these groups to step up. And 494 really answered that call, not just with farmers market, but in the things they do. John mentioned the cleanup day. They don't leave me hanging. They send some folks down to keep me company and help clean up the parks every year. But they're members that live here. We probably have over 100 members here and families. But they really believe in putting back, and it's evident with that match program at the farmers market. And our farmers market is the top in Wisconsin on the match program, and it's all due to them. Nobody in Wisconsin does what they're doing right now for us, and that's a major thing here in Wisconsin. We had a meeting today, and you've seen the number of people coming to that market from 30 to 100 miles out. A lot of them people are marginalized and need that help. And given the uncertainty of some of the cuts coming down with the recent administration, it's going to be even more important for organizations such as 494 to step forward and help those less fortunate. So on behalf of the city of Oak Creek, its residents, myself and the council, thank you very much. You make me proud to be a member. So if you'd like, you got a fancy one. Marcia, where you want to do it? Okay, sure. Everybody down that way, yes.
I think you covered most of it. I just think that, like you said, this is nothing that we can do, and our match for the SNAP and WIC programs is unique among all farmers markets, and it could not be done without the help of the IBEW. So,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Well, no action is needed on item 5, which will bring us to our first public hearing, and that is consideration of a conditional use permit for vehicle sales amendment to include the property at 2420 West Rawson Avenue. Catherine, would you read that into record?
Certainly. Publication number 1 is to consider a request for a vehicle sales conditional use permit amendment to include the property at 2420 West Rawson Avenue. Applicant is Dax Connolly, Coons Auto and RV Group. Property owner, Coons Oak Creek Property LLC. There follows the legal description. Date of notice, June 17th, 2025.
Thank you, Catherine. Christie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the Common Council. Christy Lane, Community Development Director. The item before you this evening is to consider basically an expansion of the business of Cunis Buick GMC on the corner of 27th and Rawson. The current zoning is B4, General Business District. Originally, there was a conditional use permit adopted by the Common Council in April of 2018 to establish the vehicle sales business. And then it was amended in January of 2022 There was right-of-way that the state DOT granted to the property owner, so that amendment added land to the original conditional use permit. And then the amendment before you this evening is again to add more land and expand the business. So extending to the east along Rawson Avenue, what they would like to do is construct an expansion of their parking, their inventory parking area by about 155 parking spaces. So just some technical cleanup. Again, the last amendment was from about 3 years ago. And so the conditions and restrictions that accompany a conditional use permit, what we did is we just updated the applicant's name and the property address by including this parcel to the east, updated some terms from our old zoning code to the new zoning code, the terms that we use today, modified the legal description, removed some outdated references to an overlay district that does not exist, and then just updated some other code references. So again, just some minor technical cleanups in the conditions and restrictions. And before you is the proposed plan for the expansion of their inventory parking area. Just a reminder, the zoning code does require if there's a negative finding for the conditional use permit that you're considering this evening, one of the 5 criteria in front of you should be cited. And if necessary, I can come back to this slide if someone would need that. The Plan Commission did review this and recommended approval at their June 10th meeting. And that concludes my portion of the public hearing.
Right. Thank you, Christy. As this is a public hearing, I will make 3 calls. Anybody wishing to speak, please approach podium, give your name and address. This will be the first call.
Tom Stakoyak with Stack Design Group
Tom,
representing.
can you hold the microphone?
Sure. Tom Stakoyak with Stack Design Group, the architectural firm representing the property owner to the north. It may be addressed at some point in the coming presentation, unless that's all the presentation is. What I'm looking for is how is the certified survey map that combines the properties, how does that allow for development of the land just to the north? In 2018, the previous certified survey map, there was an agreement that the property owner would provide a roadway through their site to the property to the north. And I didn't see that in this, but maybe that's part of it that you could enlighten me on.
Yeah, okay, I'll go on it. Christy, I'll go on it. I got a little more history.
Oh,
There is a proposed roadway. I don't know if, we don't have the slide of it, but I know it's in our,
It's still
oh, there it
patched
is. You can see it. Those are just dotted lines of a proposed road. And quite frankly, the property owners to the north, there's quite a few of them that was gonna basically go to Menards. It never came to fruition because the property owners didn't want to give up the land the right way, whatever it was, so it didn't happen. It's not to say that that road couldn't happen in the future. They'd have to navigate those wetlands or flood fringes or floodplains. I'll get one of them right. But anyways, what you see there is really not written in stone. It's just a proposed road. It's not that it couldn't slip a little more to the south and work its way north. So the impact to the owner to the north, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody with more knowledge than me, that would be up to him when and if that road ever got proposed, because all property owners going north would have to okay that.
This is the 2018 certified survey map where it says see note on page 2. I want to read the note on page 2 to you. Boylan Properties, Oak Creek LLC will dedicate the right-of-way for future official map street, acquire the wetland permit and construct the official mapped street in accordance with the memorandum of understanding prior to the development of Lot 2, with the total cost of construction borne by Boylan Properties of Oak Creek. So what we're looking for is the agreement that was made in 2018 to provide a roadway to this property, which we have submitted to the city since 2020. We've submitted for 5 years. We've been submitting proposals on the land to the north, and every time we come back with, we don't have any access. We can't access off 27th Street, and we have to wait for Boylan or the Kunis to develop their land so we can use our land to the north.
Kind of educate me, when you say the land to the north, is it the adjacent farmhouse directly to the
Yeah, the
north?
farmhouse and this section behind the farmhouse. So this is what we have on 27th Street, that little bit there, but they won't allow a curb cut there. So this land is stuck without any way to develop it until this road, which we were promised in the 2018 certified survey map approval, would be built. So what I'm looking for is when will that happen? Because the owner has waited a very long time.
When will that happen?
Yeah.
I guess when the road and the properties north of the farmhouse would be probably
Developed?
amenable to it.
We're ready to develop that land.
You are, but are the rest of them?
Well,
No?
it says, there's an agreement that says they will pay for that.
There's,
Yeah,
yeah, there's before your
okay,
time. Roads north of there.
okay. Okay, so being,
Yeah, we may have to
I'm
look
getting
further
off
at
the
that.
agenda on the public hearing, so we'll address that when we get into conversation. So we'll continue with the public hearing.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that was the first call. Second call. Anybody wishing to speak on the topic? Third and final call. Okay, we'll now close the public hearing, and we will move on to item 7, which is approving the amendment to the existing conditional use. So right now, we're on conditional use for the property. We're not on the CSM. So, which will be item 8. So, let's talk about the conditional use for the property. Council members, questions on the conditional use?
Dan, sorry. And Christie, you're gonna probably have to add some of this. We have to probably take a hard look at where the right-of-way extends to in terms of that agreement, what they've got mapped.
Yes, we will do so. I might defer some of that conversation to Pinnacle, the current engineer who did the certified survey map, next agenda item that we can discuss.
But as of now, it's conditional use.
Conditional use, yeah, I understand
Yeah,
that.
so. Any comments? Greg, you were at planning to discuss the conditional use.
Yeah, I think there was questions regarding this, only related to the business name being Auto and RV. They assured us they were not selling RVs, it was only gonna be automobiles. And this was simply to be able to expand the parking lot, because right now they are parking vehicles in the grass, which is not allowed. So this would allow them to pave that for vehicle sales, put more parking spaces for inventory.
Thank you, Greg. Yeah, Greg pretty much hit it. It's an inventory lot. Any other questions on the use, conditional use? Okay, seeing none, motion on 6.
7.
7, thank you.
Lorick moves to adopt resolution number 12600-071525, a resolution approving an amendment to the existing conditional use permit for the Kunis Auto and RV business located at 7020 South 27th Street and 2420 West Rawson Avenue.
Ritzel, second.
Roll call?
Alderman Ritz,
Aye.
Marshall,
Aye.
Gale,
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Haas, Lorick.
Aye.
Okay. Now we'll get to item 8, which is consideration of a resolution approving the certified survey map to combine the properties at 7020 South 27th Street and 2420 West Rawson Avenue. So this takes into account first speaker's comments regarding that. So this CSM, if you take a look at your map, I'll hand it over to Christie and I'll let her explain.
Sure, quite straightforward. Combining Lot 1, where the current business is held, with Lot 2, so that they can expand the parking lot. You can't have pavement without a principal use on the property. So basically erasing the lot lines for combined total of a 13-acre lot. And that's the pretty straightforward CSM. That was recommended for approval by the Plan Commission as well at the same meeting in June.
Correct. And just a little update, when we did do this at plan, subject of that easement, I guess I'm saying it correct, wasn't
Official map.
official map.
Yep.
Really wasn't of consequence then.
It is not, yeah, it's not impacted by the parking lot expansion at all. It's just bordering the west, to the west of that official map. Intentionally, yes.
Correct. So, as I was kind of alluding to during the public hearing, again, I should have stuck to the agenda either way, but that road can go in the future. It most definitely can, whether these are combined or not. How that agreement reads and when it happens, I don't have an answer, because it would be contingent on every property owner to the north beyond, at least to my knowledge, it's a couple of homes. There's church back there. I don't know about the Menards would have to be in on it. Probably Melrose owns some stuff back there as well. They'd all have to be agreeable
And
to want to
I don't know what you're basing that on. That the agreement we just heard the gentleman read said nothing about agreement from any property owner to the north.
No, but before that,
Contingent solely on the development by Boylan Properties. or
my
its
point,
successor
Ken,
of
is
this
before
property.
that road could even be considered.
That's not the case.
Ken, I'm just
Just be careful.
explaining.
Just be careful how you're saying this.
Thanks for the advice. I appreciate it very much. So, I'll take that into account. Just that road going forward, you'd need multiple property owners. So my point is, I don't know when. That's the point I'm trying to get to, when that would happen. Now, to Ken's point, he's right. The agreement's there, and if it's in question, this may be an item to look into and hold just on the CSM. But the man asked the question on the timeline. I don't know. Multiple things you'd have to figure out.
Yeah, I guess I'm not familiar with that 2018 CSM. If it's referencing a memorandum of understanding between two private properties, that would be between two private properties that the city wouldn't necessarily be a party to. And again, I might defer if there's questions, to the engineering firm. Pinnacle is here representing the owner, who perhaps, they did their due diligence and their research when drafting this proposed CSM, which maybe they ran into that verbiage at that time. I'm just not sure.
I'm not sure.
I remember, Dan, too, the state at one time, we entertained a road extension to signaled intersection.
Correct. Yeah, where it comes
whatever
out by
happened fell
Lowe's.
apart.
It comes out by
Yeah.
Lowe's. Yeah, exactly.
I know that entailed.
It did, and I want to say there were wetland impacts, and again, part of the reason it's stalled, I don't know which,
They didn't cooperate.
exactly, one of the properties just, I think everybody was on board, but one, maybe two. I can't remember that far back. So I mean, really, we're in a funny area here. Andrew, I'll let you speak on it, but this may be a hold item.
I don't have the history on this, but is there anything the city is obligated to do in this agreement between two entities other than accept road right-of-way at some point? Because otherwise we haven't foreclosed on whatever settlement is going to be reached among those two parties purposefully. I'm hearing, because we didn't allow building to take place over the official map, which that agreement references an officially mapped roadway, which is what this still is after any action. So unless we're in the mix there and we're not foreclosing on the officially mapped street, we may be somewhat safe, but we can certainly verify that if you'd like to hold. I don't see why I don't see any potential that we have any obligation under this, so I think we're agnostic to whatever is going on there with that agreement that was referenced.
Right, sure. Mayor, from where I sit, I mean, we only have what's in front of us, echoing Andrew's comments. I mean, I think we're hearing from Mr. Sokowiak in terms of these concerns. I will not base my recollection entirely on history, but I think that there are a couple of different issues. One that the mayor was referring to, Ken spoke to it as well. As far as this official map amendment that is in place, I would rely on, as Christy said, if Pinnacle's interested in opining, that's fine. But the CSM, I think, stands independent of the issue that was raised. And I don't know that the city is a part of it, as Andrew said. So I believe it's separate and apart, but that's just based upon the information that's being presented right now. If there's something different that came up in terms of title in the preparation of the CSM, I can't speak to the preparers of that, but it would seem that that would have been a part of this. If it were going to be recorded, there would be something that would need to have been cleared up on title if it were to proceed, if that makes sense to the council. But it's the pleasure of the council how you would like to proceed and what you would like us to do.
I have a question then, I guess. Just maybe on the process. So if current 2018 CSM has this note speaking of the road being put in by the current owner, which was Boyland at the time, if we approve a new CSM, is that note not transferred? And then they're going to say, well, that's not on the CSM anymore. Sorry, you're out of luck. Because I don't necessarily agree with that. And is it, I guess this is the first I've ever heard this, or while I've been on the council or on planning. Is it typical for notes such as that to be transposed onto a new CSM? Or by us approving it, are we saying, well, now the note's no longer valid because that was the old CSM and we just approved one without a note on it? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to eliminate a
Your
note
questions make sense
somebody's
to me.
property is
I don't know if I
basically
have an
being
answer.
developed on.
Yeah, we can.
I mean, I think
into
it's
that.
fact specific, Alderman Lorik. I think it depends on the situation. I understand your concern in terms of, I guess from where I sit, from a real estate perspective, there are things that are going to be reflected on a CSM, and then if it is accepted and agreed by the property owners who are advancing it, then that could move forward. And I think that's part of the question here. The pertinent property owners, applicants are the ones that are advancing that, and whether or not it affects this issue directly, as has been raised at the public hearing, that's the question. So I'm not of the understanding that there's a direct correlation. I think the question has been raised because it's a contiguous property. So, but I don't want to mischaracterize it just based upon what's being said here.
When did the current owner buy the property?
It was after 2018. So it was Boyland in 2018.
Bought out then?
If it pertained to the property. So, yes.
Nobody read it, so it sounds like it was. They had the understanding that if they ever did a survey map change, or if this partial was developed, that a road would be part of the construction. Doesn't sound like that happened.
I think we have to research for you and see if this is even our problem to figure out.
I think that's kind of where I'm going. You know, we do want to try to be right with it for sure. We don't want to do a disjustice to the person to the north, and of course, we want to make it right for Clunas as well. So, as I said, I think a motion to hold might be appropriate. Other further conversation? Okay, motion, please.
York moves to hold item number 8.
Ritzel, second.
Of table maybe, or is it,
Oh, you wouldn't table it.
we don't have a date certain?
We're August 19th.
I'll amend my motion to hold item 8 till the common council meeting of August 9th.
Wetzel, second.
Roll call.
Alderwoman Marshall?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Guzekowski?
Aye.
Hess? Lorik?
Aye.
Fritz?
Aye.
Okay, guys, do best you can to work it out with Pinnacle, see what they were doing and work the property to the north, see how that falls for us. And, we'll do our part on our end as well, try to get some answers. Okay, new business, Public Works, and item 9 is consideration of a resolution approving Verizon's 6th Amendment to the Sycamore Tower lease. Mike?
Mayor, Common Council, I've got an easy one for you tonight. Verizon wants to give us a bit more money and fix our railing on the top of the Sycamore Tower.
Questions for Mike? This has been a long-term contract. How often do you have to renew it, Mike?
Well, it's really up to the cell phone companies when they want to come in and do improvements to their equipment on the tower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So just for the public, it does have 5% increase yearly.
Annually, yes.
So, any questions for Mike? Okay, seeing none, motion on 9.
Clerk moves to adopt resolution number 12602-071525, a resolution approving the Verizon 6th Amendment to the Sycamore Tower lease.
Wetzel, go ahead.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale?
Aye.
Guzekowski?
Aye.
Hess? Lorik?
Aye.
Fritz?
Aye.
Marshall? Aye.
And item 10 concerns police, and it's approving a proposed memorandum of understanding for the city of Oak Creek to provide to the city of Cudahy backup public safety answering point services. Chief Stecker?
Good evening, Dave Stecker, Chief of Police. I am here with a resolution to accept the memorandum of understanding with the city of Cudahy. If you're not aware, we talked about briefly earlier this morning, a PSAP is a public safety answering point, so that's where all the 911 calls come through. When we took over for dispatching for St. Francis and South Milwaukee, we became their PSAPs, so they're not PSAPs anymore. And what we typically do is all have backups and sometimes tertiaries to make sure that if things go wrong or things go bad, we can back up another city or they can back us up. We have those same agreements with other PSAPs in case things happen at Oak Creek. And unfortunately, Cudahy had an agreement with South Milwaukee and did not take that into consideration once South Milwaukee came on with Oak Creek. So they had an unfortunate incident happen and their emergency center went down and contacted us. We immediately picked that up for them and helped them out in that pinch. They're looking for something a little more long-term and making sure that they have it covered going forward so it can be one less thing that they have to worry about at that time. We've agreed to do so in premise. We're looking to make sure that we can get that taken care of here with council. There's nothing additional that we need for equipment and no additional funding that we need at this time. It would just fall under our normal packs that we have for mutual aid when these things happen. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Questions for Chief? Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, how were you able to?
take over and take care of that with it. It's as easy as, and it used to be even in the quote-unquote old days, we'd switch a key on a cabinet and it would reroute it through AT&T. Now it's all done through servers, and they can reroute that once we have this agreement in place. They can take care of that, get it routed over to our numbers should that happen. When it comes to our radio channels, that's something that we've all had. We have a county template. We're all on the same channels, so
How you did it?
that's how we did it temporarily, and they had to manually forward their phones over to us.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, motion.
You'll move to approve resolution 12603-071525, approving a proposed memorandum of understanding for the city of Oak Creek to provide city of Cudahy backup public safety answering point services.
Marshall, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski?
Aye.
Hess? Lorick?
Aye.
Ritz?
Aye.
Marshall? Aye. Gale?
And item 11 is consideration of a resolution approving a certified survey map to subdivide and reconfigure the properties at 10523 South Howell Avenue and 10304 South Oakview Parkway.
Sorry, I was flipping too slowly here. The certified survey map before you to consider this evening is the combination, reconfiguring and combination of the two properties that are owned by the city of Oak Creek at Oakview Business Park to prepare the land to sell for the announced user, Dursey, at the northeast portion of the parcel. So what they're proposing to do is to create, or what we, excuse me, not they, we're the applicant. We're proposing to do is to divide the land into two different reconfigurations, lot 1 being 29.1 acres that the city would sell to Dursey, and lot 2, lot 1 being 31.1 acres and lot 2 being 8.8 acres. The city would retain the 8.8 acre parcel with intention to someday sell that to a future developer. The certified survey map before you does meet all of the bulk requirements of the M1 zoning district, and the Plan Commission recommended approval.
Thank you, Christie. Questions on reconfiguration?
Matt, sorry, Dan.
Yeah.
Matt, the outlot that contains the current stormwater pond on the west corner of that intersection, sized appropriately, or would I have to be
Currently, that's sized appropriately for Lot 1 itself. There are plans in place as they expand. We'd have to revisit it. So there would be an amendment to the stormwater management plan, whether that includes a smaller facility to the south to facilitate that extra impervious or not. We're still in determination of that once we have more concrete plans. But yeah, there is a plan in place and there is a placeholder for additional stormwater.
Wouldn't necessarily extend the current pond? You don't have to reserve some easement
No,
or
we
anything?
currently probably, that's in an outlot. We'd have to do some reconfiguration.
Okay.
Okay, seeing no more discussion or questions, motion?
Gail moves to approve resolution 12604-07152 approving a certified survey map to subdivide and reconfigure the properties at 10523 South Howell Avenue and 10304 South Oakview Parkway.
Marshall, second.
Roll call?
Alderwoman Hess. Lorick?
Aye.
Ritz?
Aye.
Marshall? Aye. Gale?
Aye.
Guzekowski?
Aye.
And item 12 is engineering, and its consideration of a motion to award Fire Station 3 apparatus bay roof replacement project to the lowest responsible bidder, Roberts Restoration, Inc., an estimated cost of $120,823. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor and Common Council. Matt Sullivan, Assistant City Administrator and City Engineer. Before you is that consideration to award the Fire Station 3 apparatus bay roof replacement project to our lowest bidder. So this, currently the apparatus bay roof is approximately 25 years. It will be 25 this year. It's gone through its useful life, and at this point in time, there hasn't been any major leaks or any major issues, but we're trying to get ahead of this, take care of it. The front, we'll call it people space, that was done 5 years ago. So that was done when it was 20 years old. Going through this, we did retain our services of Garland Company, which we've used in the past here, especially at the Civic Center, to do some minor rehabilitation on the roof. They went through, did research with our facilities manager, Dick Kolka. They went through a number of options there to facilitate different alternatives. Within these alternatives, there is some work between the two roofs to accompany that, and then to do some fascia on some of those chimneys, which are more aesthetic looks that handle HVAC and other piping that penetrate the roof. So with all the base bids, we did look at 3. We received 3 bids. While reviewing them, we did notice the low bidder was non-compliant with our specifications. We did reach out and contact them to facilitate some kind of correspondence. They did state that they would not be able to meet those specifications with the current bid that they had, and they requested to be removed. So that is why we have a disqualified bid. The next lowest bidder is still within our budget. Our budget is approximately $125,000. So adding all the alternatives, making us complete and whole, would be within that budget. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions for Matt? Okay, seeing none, motion. Clark seconds. Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Hess.
And item 13 is consideration of motion to award the Oakwood Road Box Culvert Replacement Project unit price contract base bid to the lowest responsible bidder, the Wanasek Corporation, at the estimated cost of $191,650. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. If you recall, back in 2024, WISDOT initialized a program that managed basically structures that were less than 20 foot in span, which is covered under their local bridge program. The program kind of specified or requested municipalities to be part of it. One of the things was us locating certain structures of this nature of a certain size. We were granted $100 per structure as we reported. We completed that in early 2024 to Milwaukee County, who is our manager of our systems. Through that, they hired a consultant to do full investigation and inspection on all of them. During that time, the box culvert on Oakwood, which is just east of 13th and near the restaurant down there, Cellar, sorry. That was identified as a failing structure, actually. So we were actually requested at one point to close the road. We did work with our consultants immediately. They had them out there. We were inspecting it, looking at it. Also worked with DPW to come up with solutions. Thus, we put on our steel plates that we have in stock at our DPW. DPW did all the work. Fantastic. And that allowed us to go to a 3-ton weight limit. So we still could keep the road open to general traffic. We worked with local businesses to divert heavy trucks, school buses, and such. We went into a full design at that point, along with working with DNR. We did have some delays because of some environmental impacts, where we had to go through and research it to make sure that there weren't endangered species, whether it was plants or fish or things along those lines. We were just recently cleared and provided a permit to do our work. At that point, we did put this out to bid, and we did come with, I believe, 3 bidders came through. There was a wide range, a lot of uncertainty on where it was, a lot of questions asked, but they came within our budget of $200,000 that we initially put out there on a short notice. So we're recommending that we go with Wanasek Group for $191,000. There are some stipulations with this as we move forward. We will have to shut the road down, so everyone is aware, for approximately 12 days. That's all we're giving them. Anything beyond that, there'll be liquidated damages of $5,000 on each day that road is closed. We'll continue to work with bus companies and other agencies out there to make sure that we facilitate all their needs as we work through it and notify the residents. There is delay, probably 6 weeks, just to get the actual box structure built before it can be brought out. So kind of moving through that process right now, but as soon as we can move this along, we can get this bridge taken care of. Be happy to answer any questions. I know there's a lot of information.
Questions, Matt, on Oakwood?
Appreciate the quick turnaround on that one. I mean, it's going to be unfortunate for a couple days, but
When are the 12 days?
So it's when they start their work. The minute they can only shut the road down for 12 days.
Okay.
12 consecutive days. We wanted to give them a full 2 weeks of work, and they have the choice to work Saturday and Sunday. We just wanted to make sure that it was consecutive. It'll be tight.
What's your plan to notify the neighbors?
Oh, we're already reaching out to the bus companies right now.
Okay.
Once we have an actual schedule and an idea of when things are coming, we'll probably notify them well in advance, month and a half in advance.
Other discussion or questions? Motion.
We'll move to award the Oakwood Road Box Culvert Replacement Project unit price contract, the base bid to the lowest responsible bidder, the Wanasek Group, the estimated cost of $191,600.
Marshall, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall. Aye. Gale. Guzekowski.
Aye.
Haas. Lorick.
Aye. And item 14 is to consider a motion to award the 2025 road improvement projects Fairfield subdivision unit price base contract to the lowest responsible bidder, Wolf Paving, Inc., at an estimated cost of $939,885.81. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. As you recall, back early of 2025, we brought forward our Enhanced Surface Transportation Rehabilitation Program and bringing that up to the $3 to $4 million. Common Council approved to move to $3 million this year. We have facilitated several projects, whether it's our annual Pazer Road and the intersection of Pewitz and Liberty. One of the projects we wanted to get done was also Fairfield subdivision. This will be a mill and overlay type project, along with fixing some other things. One other key component of this is we also, through our budget process, increased some funding for ditch maintenance, as everyone's well aware. This was a ideal, I guess, project to start with. Fortunately, we were well within our budget. We're under our $500,000 on both. Things look really good, very favorable. A lot of good work from our from our design team within internal here at City. I'd be happy to answer any questions in regards to this project.
I just appreciate it, Matt. Residents I've talked to already are very happy going on this. Appreciate it.
Seeing no further discussion, motion.
We'll move to award the 2025 road improvement projects Fairfield subdivision unit price contract base bid to the lowest responsible bidder, Wolf Paving Company, Inc., at the estimated cost of $939,885.81.
Marshall, second.
Roll call.
Alderwoman Marshall. Aye. Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Haas. Aye. Lorick.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
And item 15 is the license committee. I'll turn that over to Alderman Ritz.
Thank you, Mayor. Included in your packet, you'll find various license requests that have been forwarded to us by the licensing committee. Please look them over and let us know if you have any questions. If none, Fritz will move to approve the various license requests as listed on the 7/15/25 licensing committee report.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Haas. Lorick.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall. Aye.
And item 16 is consideration of a motion to approve the June 25th, 2025 vendor summary report in the amount of $445,160.98. You have the report in front of you. If you have any questions, please just take the floor. Hearing no questions, motion.
We'll move to approve the June 25, 2025 vendor summary report in the amount of $445,160.98.
Lorick seconds.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Haas. Aye. Lorick.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall. Aye. Gale.
Aye.
And item 17 is consideration of a motion to approve the July 9th, 2025 vendor summary report in the amount of $978,268.86. Once again, if you have any questions, please take the floor. Hearing no questions or discussion, motion.
Marshall move to approve the July 9th, 2025 vendor summary report in the amount of $978,268.86.
Roll call.
Alderwoman Haas. Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
And as we are vacating the first meeting in August due to National Night Out, we need to consider a resolution authorizing bills, payments of bills, debts, and obligations as business will continue even if
Marshall will move to approve resolution number 12605-071525, authorizing payment of bills, debts, and obligations.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Haas.
And before we adjourn, just one announcement. This is a weekend where the city goes to the dogs. It is Dog Days in Oak Creek. July the 18th and 19th, right out here at Town Square. Jumping ponds, agility courses, all sorts of things for your four-legged friends. So please, it's a family-friendly event. You can come on out and visit us on Friday and Saturday. There's no further business. Motion to adjourn.
Orc moves to adjourn.
Ritz will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Haas. Lorik.
Aye.
Thank you all. We stand adjourned.